understand one of the remaining most difficult issues is public procurement, as you mentioned. And but I understand the CETA, which is between Canada and the EU, has also included the public procurement as one of the chapters. So could you just elaborate a little bit more about the difficulties if you two are facing, two countries are facing in the negotiation, and particularly what kind of industry on in the very tough situation? Thank you.
Okay, so public procurement. I could also talk for hours on this, but yeah, I mean, just for everybody to know, both Canada, both the US, both the European Union, we're all members and parties to the WTO GPA agreement, so the government procurement agreement. So we already have, like basic reference in terms of the rules for international procurements that we have, we abide to, but also some market access commitments in the framework of WTO. So you should know that. So basically what we try to do in our FTAs, and the US perspective, our approach is the same, is in FTAs, when we are negotiating with GPA partners, we basically try to enhance, so basically we take the GPAs as a reference basis, and then we try to increase, either we, for example, improve, or we go a bit more in details in terms of the rules that apply to procurement, for example, about electronic procurement, or, but that's, I would say, the less important part of the discussions. Or obviously, we try to enhance bilaterally the market access that we have already agreed in the GPA. And that's exactly what we're trying to do within the TTIP, but also what we have done with CETA. So basically, when you look at CETA, we have our GPA commitments to bilateral scheduling in the GPA, and then we have indeed improved those. So it means we have increased access at the federal level. I mean, if you look at the Canadian market, well, we have increased at the federal level, additional procurement entities, but also in terms of the sectors for the procurements. And if you look at the provinces, the Canadian provinces, we have indeed managed to agree on opening up of the procurement contracts in some sectors or in some provinces. So here in CETA, I mean, I'm not an expert in CETA, but I believe it's on the energy sector, and as well as on the public transport sector, for just to name a few. In terms of the TTIP, well, we're aiming to do the same approach. So it's basically taking the GPAs and basis reference, and improve our respective access to our respective procurement markets. So this is where we are. It means federal procurement. And for the European Union, one of our key objectives as well is to improve access at the state level procurement. Note that there are already states that are covered by the GPA, and procurement contracts from state level already covered from the GPA, so we're trying to expand those, right? And so this is where the conversation is. I mean, we have exchanged first procurement offers. It is true that from the EU perspective, the exchange of offers were, not to the level that we were expecting. So the conversations are pretty difficult. I mean, I cannot I cannot lie about that. It's perhaps one of the most difficult areas of the negotiations. But also from the EU perspective, I mean, it's one of our key interests. And member states, and I'm pretty sure that member states around which are here will support me on that. It's clear, one of the kind of points where they will be looking at the deal when it reaches them. So this is, I guess, what we can explain to you. And in terms of the sectors, I would say it's the same. I mean, international procurement contracts, when you think about it, I mean, it's not the procurement of, we keep talking about today about costs, so it's not about procurement of costs, but it's about infrastructure projects, about energy projects, it's about, building metros and trains and things like that. So it's, normally it's huge in terms of value, because it's where, the international procurement and, it's about services as well, etc. So this is where the value of having international procurement lies.